Chapter 674. Those loyal to Nukijo were not only present in the Black Orca Tavern but existed everywhere in Charloin. On days when the Awakener fighter betting matches, which Nukijo had been particularly attentive to lately, were held, his subordinates would temporarily cease their usual activities. They would linger around the Black Orca, vigilantly keeping watch to ensure the safety of the patrons and prepare for any unforeseen incidents. Nukijo, intuitively certain that the success of today's fight would significantly impact his future business expansion, had instructed his men to prepare more rigorously than usual. Did I hear that an unprecedented number of VIPs have come today? Incredible. Are the fights of the Awakeners that entertaining? I wish I could go down and watch for myself. If you want to do that, first do this job properly. Don't you know that people like us who have nothing need to show our faces consistently for months before getting a chance to work inside? It's truly ruthless. Damn it, it's cold outside and I wish I could go in and have some parka beer. You fool, if you see someone passing by with a bottle, just hit him and take it as tribute. Then we can drink here too. Oh, is that so? The south was much warmer than the northern regions, but that didn't mean winter was non-existent. Grumbling about the chilly weather and making crude jokes, two of Nukijo's subordinates suddenly felt a strange rumbling beneath their feet. Huh? Is my stomach rumbling because I'm hungry? It feels like the ground is shaking. No, I felt it too. What's going on? In that moment, the roof of the Black Orca Tavern exploded with a loud bang, and fiery red flames shot up into the air. Screams erupted from all around. Nukijo's men instinctively covered their heads and dropped to the ground. The flames, scattering debris and illuminating the night sky like day, eventually subsided, but the shock remained. What in the world? What's happened? Fortunately, the Black Orca Tavern was not in operation today. The main fighting arena on the first floor had been closed in rotation to focus on Awakener fighting match in the basement. The surrounding taverns under Nukijo's influence had also closed early, sensing the need for caution. However, the flames soared so high they were visible from anywhere in Charloin. People who felt the massive shock and saw the red glow filling the sky started to emerge, thinking there was a fire. What's happened at the fighting arena? What should we do? First, stop anyone from entering the tavern. Don't you know why boss left us here? It's to keep the door shut and prevent unnecessary people from entering in situations like this. Even if everyone knows what we do here, there are still things that must not be revealed, you fools. Get a grip. A long-time right-hand man of Nukijo shouted orders as he moved around. Following his command, Nukijo's subordinates hastily surrounded the Black Orca, preventing others from approaching. It was a wise decision. As soon as they secured the tavern, others began to appear. What? You say there wasn't a fire? Really? Yes, I'm telling you. Look, there is a hole, but no fire. Well, that's true. You all know what we are doing here. It was just a minor accident, but it will be sorted out soon. The first to appear, unsurprisingly, were members of the Public Safety Patrol who had been on duty nearby. Most of them were already acquainted with Nukijo's gang and had a rough idea of what was going on under the tavern. Accustomed to turning a blind eye to criminal activities in exchange for bribes, the patrol members clicked their tongues upon seeing the giant hole in the roof of the tavern, but didn't force their way in. Even so, this is a first, isn't it? A hole in the roof? I wish they'd keep it down. There are limits to how much we and the Lord can overlook. I know. We will sort this out quickly and clean it up. When have we ever let you down? Let's not make a big deal out of it since we all know what's going on. If you overlook this just this once, our boss won't forget to return the favor. As Nukijo's man made a money-gesturing sign, the patrol soldier's expression softened. Alright, clean this up quickly, then and we will be on our way. The hole in the roof was quite something. But since the area was mostly empty and it seemed no one was hurt and quite below, why stir things up? No one here wanted to do more than necessary. Just one blind eye and Nukijo would, as always, show the utmost sincerity. The patrolman coughed and smiled. even extending the kindness of waving off the crowd that had gathered with Nukijo's gang. There is nothing to see here, everyone can go. No one's hurt and they will have it sorted soon. The show's over, alright? Amid the tense atmosphere, as people intimidated by the menacing figures began to disperse, a particularly tall man bumped into the hand of one of Nukijo's gang members. What's with you? Didn't you hear me tell you to leave? ... The man met their gaze silently. He had the distinct features of a southerner, with a sword at his waist. His strong and cold eyes briefly intimidated Nukijo's subordinate, who then straightened up and pushed him again, feigning toughness. What? A rotten tomato, huh? Don't you understand the imperial language? Huh? Get out of here. Rotten tomato was a derogatory southern term marking the reddish hue of the southerner's skin. The southerner, having been subjected to such a blatantly offensive insult, finally showed a bit of reaction. Over here. However, his response was not directed at Nukijo's gang. Instead, he calmly raised a hand towards something behind them. Immediately, the presence of many others was felt from behind. What? They don't seem like ordinary people. When did so many gather here? An eerie and wild aura surrounded them, impossible to notice how and when they had come so close. The atmosphere tensed rapidly as dozens of these imposing figures radiating such a presence gathered around the tall southerner. You're here. I saw the signal just now. How are things? As you see. The southerner responded curtly, and the unidentified figures nodded gravely. Nukijo's men could not fathom what these people, diverse in gender, age, and size, and seemingly unrelated, were doing converging here. Who are you people? Where did you come from? Faced with these unfamiliar faces, one of Nukijo's men, his face marred with scar marks and particularly fierce-looking, shouted. Usually, his roar would intimidate anyone, but not this time. Excluding the peculiar group before them, everyone else had seemed ordinary. Unflinching, they endured his shouts. Some even smirked as if they found it hardly amusing. Smirking? Then, one man, who appeared was reminiscent of a bear, pulled out a shining silver button from his pocket and spoke. We are the cavalry. I have come here after hearing about the presence of awakeners. Move aside, we need to check inside. The cavalry? It was common knowledge that the cavalry had come to establish a southern branch, but no one really knew who they were. Only then did Nukijo's gang realize that the shade trait among this odd, disparate group was that they were all awakeners. Damn it, troublesome lot. Why now? Naturally, Nukijo's men had no intention of letting them in. They were determined to guard this place until they received permission from Nukijo himself. So, what if you are the cavalry? This is our land, our establishment. We don't just let anyone in because they want to enter. Even the proud Charlotte guards here have agreed it's fine. Who are you to barge in? As always, they employed a strategy based on law, rights, and shamelessness. This was their homeland, their land. The guards, knights, officials, and numerous VIPs they have colluded with over time had taught them that they had the right to refuse visitors without a legitimate reason. The Charlotte guards, catching the imploring gaze of Nukijo's gang, intervened with annoyance. Are you really the cavalry? Indeed. Why don't you just leave? This is Charlotte. Matters in Charlotte are dealt by the Charlotte people. You have no right to interfere here. You heard him, now scram. But the cavalry were not ordinary either. The man, who had been standing firm and silent, responded indifferently to the hostility thrown at him. That's true. However, His Imperial Majesty has stated that incidents involving awakeners are to be prioritized by the cavalry, so we can enter. That fire just now wasn't caused by an awakener. Despite the shouts and threats, the cavalry member repeated the same words, seemingly impervious to any intimidation. They were impossible to communicate with. Nukijo's men exchanged glances and muttered curses among themselves. It was Nukijo's men who finally snapped. If you won't leave nicely, then we have no choice. Just as they were about to resort to violence against the cavalry, something happened. What's that? A cry from the onlookers who had been watching from a distance, coincided with something soaring up through the broken roof. Good heavens! A man with wings? It sounded absurd, but it was true. There, hovering high in the sky, was a man with giant wings on his back and antlers like a deer's gasping for breath. Amidst the crowd's astonishment, the man inhaled deeply and then shouted loudly, "I am an awakener. I have just escaped from an illegal fighting ring below. Please help." After his desperate cry echoed, the bear-like cavalry member slowly smiled and spoke. "Now we can go in, right?"